this channel. Finally, the time has come when we are going to have our discussion on understanding the yearly planetary movements in the year 2021. After whatsoever we have faced in this particular year, where we are moving ahead with this hope that 2021 is not only going to put an end to all of our miseries, but also make us open towards all the opportunities. So what I'm going to do in this video is that I've already uploaded a video where I have explained you the planetary influence in the form of numerological numbers. How could we decode the energies of 2021 as per our personal year? If you want to get a clarity, you can also watch that video as well. I'm going to mention the link of that previous video in the description box of this video. And in this video now we are going to focus only on the astrological planetary involvements and contribution to the year 2021. So guys, I'm going to divide this video in two parts. First part, which is going to remain common for all the 12 ascendant natives, where I'm going to explain you the major transit movements which is going to happen in the year 2021. And in the second part, we will try to understand what 2021 is going to bring specifically for you. Whatsoever planetary transit movements we are going to discuss in the first part of this video, how is it going to affect you as per your ascendant in a very customized way. So okay guys, let's just start our discussion on understanding the major planetary movements in the year 2021. It's very simple. Whenever we have to look at any particular year's theme, we always give emphasis and more emphasis to the slow moving planets, because they have the capacity to bring a major change in our life, to lay foundation to something very substantial which we want to achieve. So from this particular perspective, we generally give emphasis to the transit of the planet Saturn, because Saturn stays in one zodiac sign for around 2.5 years. Second priority always goes to the nodes Rahu and Ketu, because they also stay in one sign for nearly 1.5 years of time. Then the third priority goes to the planet Jupiter, because Jupiter's stay also stays in one sign for near about 10 months to 1 year of time. So first we are going to discuss how Saturn's going to behave in the year 2021. Now just because I have already explained it to you that Saturn generally stays in one sign for nearby around 2.5 years of time, but behind each zodiac sign in our Vedic astrology, which is very comprehensive, which is very layered and detailed, behind each zodiac sign there is the energy of 3 asterisms, 3 nakshatras, which provides their energy, their contributing qualities to the functioning of that zodiac sign. So guys, in the year 2021, Saturn is majorly going to spend most of his time even behind the Capricorn in the Shravan Nakshatra. Now you need to understand first what are the underlying qualities of this asterism, this nakshatra, which is going to influence the behavior of the Saturn, which in a way is going to affect all of us. So I mean to say, whenever we have to talk about the Shravan Nakshatra. So see, Shravan is a nakshatra which is being ruled by the planet Moon. Shravan is a nakshatra which lies in the core of the Capricorn zodiac sign. Now Capricorn has a region from 10 degrees to 23 degree 20 minutes. Whenever we have to talk about Capricorn, the first thing which comes to our mind is about organizational skills, about very career driven approach. So I mean to say, all of these qualities which you must have heard or which you must associate with Capricorn zodiac sign underlies and get kind of compact in the functioning of this Shravan Nakshatra. So the way it has been described in our Vedic scriptures is that just because the ruling deity of this star Shravan is Lord Vishnu, which in itself is a preservator, and the goddess Saraswati, which represents all form of knowledge, all form of wisdom, all form of learning. So the thing is, in the functioning of this Shravan Nakshatra works in a way where a lot of emphasis is being given to your discipline and moreover and your capability to access all the form of wisdom and knowledge around you. So a lot of emphasis is being attached to the listening. So now what is going to happen is that in the year 2021, when Saturn will be transiting this Shravan nakshatra, it is good in a way that, for example, rather than being very acting like someone who is bit nonchalant, who is not very concerned, or who is kind of bit unconcerned about the wise advices of the other people, your behaviors, your endeavors have to be receptive enough in order to understand the goodness, the wisdom around you. You have to be, get into that meditative stance where you have to listen to your inner voice. I mean to say, guys, had there been a planet like Mars, if it will be transiting this asterism, which all about sharing of the knowledge, being accessible to the knowledge, then we could have said that for Mars, being proactive could reap you the results. But for a planet like Saturn, which in itself represents discipline, being passive qualities, the transit of Saturn in this Shravan nakshatra could be looked at from the perspective that this year, something concrete is definitely going to happen in your life. Some good opportunities you're definitely going to invite in your life, even from the meditative and the spiritual elevation. This year is definitely going to be very, very eye-opener for you. But the only thing is that you have to remain open towards listening to the wise counsel around you. So this is something, guys, which you can associate as the behavior and functioning of Saturn in the year 2021. Now the most important part is that, see, the first charan or the pada of Shravan is being ruled by the Aries Navamsa, which is all about logic, career oriented drive approach. You can associate with it. The second pada of Shravan nakshatra is about the Taurus Navamsa, where the emphasis is put forth more on the organizational skills, about fixity in your your approach towards the fulfillment of your goals. But the most important part is that, and where Saturn is going to spend a majority of its portion of time in the year 2021, that is going to be in this Shravan's third pada. So now third pada is being ruled by the Gemini Navamsa, where a lot of emphasis is being given on the communication, about the resourcefulness, about acquiring new skill. And this time period is going to be from the month of April to the month of July. In the month of June and July, Saturn is also going to go retrograde, but it is going to stay in the Shravan nakshatra's third pada. So I mean to say, guys, this is going to be a time period where you can encash a lot from Saturn's transit in this Shravan nakshatra. Not only that, guys, even while taking out the auspicious timings, it is being believed that any task undertaken or started in the time of predominance of Shravan nakshatra goes towards the successful final completion. So a lot related to permanent victory, laying foundation for something concrete, substantial in your life, can be associated with the transit of Saturn in the Shravan nakshatra in the year 2021. Let's move ahead, guys. The next slow moving planet which is going to impact our lives due to its transit in the year 2021, which is important to study, is the planet Rahu. Now the case with Rahu is that whichsoever Rahu transits basis your ascendant, it is being seen and it is being observed that certain degree of luck can be experienced in that particular house. Sudden thrust of fascination, obsession towards the signification of the house has been observed in the lives of many people wheresoever Rahu is being transiting in their house from the ascendant. So I mean to say, guys, in the year 2021, Rahu is majorly going to transit even within the Taurus zodiac sign, where it is transiting currently in the Rohini nakshatra. So a major like 3/4 of its time in the year 2021, it's going to be spent in the Rohini nakshatra. Now you need to understand the qualities which gets represented by Rohini. Rohini is a nakshatra which is being ruled by the planet Moon. Rohini represents all kind of civilization, production, allure, charm, good interpersonal skills. So I mean to say, Rahu, which in itself represents materialistic desires. Rahu has got that insatiable appetite. And at the time when I made a video on understanding the result of Rahu's transit in this Taurus zodiac sign, I already explained it to you people that this transit is actually going to invoke and encourage Rahu to attain the financial and materialistic desires which it always craves for. So I mean to say, in this Rohini Nakshatra, Rahu's energy is going to manifest in the form in the year 2021, where native is definitely going to make himself or herself financially stable, financially secure, and lot of efforts will be put forth in the form of attaining luxury or in the form of attaining comforts in the life. This is something which you can see as a form of probable results for Rahu's transit in the Rohini Nakshatra, which is going to remain from the month of February till the month of October. You can attach it with that. And when we talk about the Kritika Nakshatra, where Rahu is going to stay only for the 2 months in the November and December, there could be a little bit of the turmoil and the clash of energies, because Kritika is a nakshatra which is being ruled by Rahu's enemy Sun. And the second thing is that Rahu's way of functioning has got little bit of the wheel of illusion in it. There is little bit of the manipulation, there is little bit of the diplomacy in it. But when we talk about the functioning of Kritika, there is a very on your face approach, because of which there Rahu's functioning, Rahu's plans could get into bone of contention. But apart from that, for the major and the majority of the year of 2021, Rahu's transit in the Rohini Nakshatra could be seen as a very good sign for all the people who are connected with the fields of import and export, anything related to travel business, anything related to financial markets, anything related to art and mass media business. All these people can straight away get benefited because of the Rahu's transit in the year 2021 in the Rohini Nakshatra. Let's move ahead, guys. If you need to understand the transit of Ketu in the year of 2021. So as you people know that Ketu will be transiting in the sign of Scorpio throughout the year 2021. Now it is very important, because whichsoever house Ketu transit from your ascendant, it has the capacity to bring lifetime changes in the signification of that house. Any form of churning out, all form of transformation, being and becoming perfectionist in the signification of the house where Ketu is transiting from your ascendant, all of that remains possible whichever time Ketu is transiting in that particular house in your chart. Now the second thing is that behind the Scorpio zodiac sign, Ketu will be transiting in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha and in the nakshatra of Anuradha. Now you need to understand that Jyeshtha is a nakshatra which is being ruled by the planet Mercury, where a lot of emphasis is being given to attaining power, attaining some leadership role, proving your supremacy in the society. So I mean to say, let's say for example, if in the year of 2021 you are running the fortunate time periods, Dasha period, which signify some kind of attainment of power. So the transit of Ketu could promise you that. And along with that, when Ketu will be transiting the Anuradha Nakshatra from the month of July till the month of December. So Anuradha represents all kind of friendly endeavors, becoming a part of the group and attainment of your goals in a very amiable way. And you cannot even ignore the fact that Anuradha is a nakshatra which is being ruled by the planet Saturn, which is definitely going to be very empowered in this particular year's transit. And last, guys, if you need to understand the transit of Jupiter throughout the year of 2021, so I've already uploaded a video where I've explained that Jupiter will be transiting in the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius throughout the year of 2021. So till the month of April, it will be transiting in the zodiac sign of Capricorn. Then from April till the month of September, it will be transiting in the sign of Aquarius. From September to November, it will transit back to the Capricorn, and finally in the month of November, it is going to move ahead in the sign of Aquarius. Now the good part about this transit is going to remain that Jupiter's optimism might get suppressed, might get completely surrendered to the power and the disciplined streak of Saturn at the time when it is going to be transiting in the sign of Capricorn, being conjunct with already placed strong Saturn over there. But once it is going to move to the sign of Aquarius, that could be seen as a very fortunate time in working hard towards fulfillment of your goals, of your desires, along with becoming a part of the larger groups. You can look at it from that particular perspective as well. So this is something, guys, which I wanted to tell you and share a sneak peek of the planetary general movement in the year of 2021. Now we will try to understand by making a blend of all of these planets that what kind of results they are going to bring in our lives in the year of 2021. Okay friends, now we will try to understand the impact of planetary transits in year 2021 specific to your ascendant. The trick is very simple. Whenever we have to do the yearly predictions, we always give emphasis to the condition of the slow moving planets, out of which Saturn gets our maximum attention because it's Saturn only which has the potential capacity to bring something substantial in your life in its yearly transit. So now what is going to happen this year is that Saturn in this whole year will be transiting in the zodiac sign of Capricorn. A major portion of this year behind Capricorn, Saturn will be transiting in the asterism nakshatra of Shravan, and most importantly, Saturn will be transiting your first house, your ascendant. Now guys, you have to understand that the transit of ascendant lord on your ascendant is a very important event. I mean to say, your ascendant lord has the capacity to, because it rules your life force, it rules your health, your personality, your public prestige. So I mean to say, a planet like Saturn, which in itself is a very slow moving planet. It's not like your ascendant lord is like moon being a Cancer ascendant, or your ascendant lord being of any Mercury or any sun ruled signs. I mean to say, your ascendant lord is a planet which stays in one sign for around 2.5 years of time. So Saturn coming back to your, like, whichsoever place in your ascendant chart Saturn is placed, but it's coming to your first house can be seen as a very substantial, a very strong astrological event. So I mean to say, for sure this year you are definitely going to face and feel that more responsibilities might come your way. You might feel yourself very humble rather than being in this horde of projecting your personality or trying to become forceful. Circumstances could make you little bit humble, even from the perspective of attaining authority and doing something which could be a life-changing event. Like whenever we have to do and we have to see for all those important life decisions, so we generally associate them and we validate them. Is your ascendant lord promising that or not? Whether in the form of what dasha period, time period you are going through, or where your ascendant lord is placed. So Saturn being your ascendant lord coming and transiting in your first house can validate, can promise all these kind of events in your life. Like the way I have already explained, you might feel yourself more responsible, more dutiful, more mature. Some kind of authority, status, power can be acquired during this year of transit. And most importantly, you will definitely feel that you will also be able to gather and garner the support of other people as well. Now the thing is, guys, whenever we have to understand the transit of Jupiter, now Jupiter is definitely is going to be debilitated in your first house, and you can look at it from this perspective that this year is more of creating those energies where you have to rely on yourself rather than being dependent on other people. Like your degree of optimism is definitely going to be very practical, very grounded this year. You can look at it from that perspective. Now the second thing is that Jupiter, like from the month of April till the month of September, Jupiter is going to transit to your second house. Jupiter in itself is the natural karaka of your second house as well. So I mean to say, from that particular period of time, from April to September, can be seen as still a very promising time for any of the prosperity in the matters of your finances. Any of your investments can also reap good results. Any of the domestic matters, family matters can also bring some harmony, some good news as well in your life. And if you have to understand the contribution of another slow moving planets, I mean to say what Rahu and Ketu are going to do this year for you. So you have to understand that Rahu will be transiting in your fifth house. It is already strengthened in its exaltation sign, because there is always debate over which sign Rahu gets exalted. It's best favorable sign placement. Some people attach Gemini as the sign of exaltation for Rahu, and for many scholars they see Taurus as the sign of exaltation for Rahu. But if you will ask my opinion, Rahu's Rahu's illusionary side manifests more in the Gemini part. And when we talk about the Taurus, so Rahu, which in itself represents all kind of materialistic, insatiable desires. So all of these, Rahu's materialistic side manifests itself, feel itself at home in this Taurus zodiac sign. Now the good part here is that even behind this Taurus zodiac sign, a major portion of this year, Rahu is going to be transiting in the asterism in the star of Rohini, which is again all about beauty, elegance, comforts. And fifth house also represents all these kind of activities, pleasurable activities, enjoyable activities. So I mean to say this year could be seen as very beneficial. First of all, for all those people who are associated with technology in any form, who are associated with stock market, any form of speculation, those people who are associated with art and craft, entertainment, mass media. So all these people can definitely benefit because of Rahu's transit in your fifth house. Like I would even say that even on the matters of speculation and any of your risky ventures, like wheresoever your heart is guiding you, because you have to understand that, see, fifth house tells about your consciousness, fifth house tells about, most importantly, your intellect, the way you think, the way you project yourself. And even Saturn is strengthened in your first house, which is actually making you humble. So I mean to say this year could actually be seen as very promising for you to work on any of your like life goals, lifetime decisions, lifetime important events, and even in the matters of going little bit out of the line and taking risk could also be seen as positive in your case, if only your time period, your ongoing dashas are also like working in tandem and are going favorable and going to support you in any of your endeavors. So this is something, guys, which I wanted to tell you from the Rahu's perspective. If you have to understand what is Ketu doing in your 11th house, so the transit of Ketu in the 11th house is bit sensitive placement. I mean to say 11th house tells about all kind of your group activities, and Ketu is a shadow planet which doesn't like socializing too much. Ketu represents all kind of detachment, renunciation, trying to attune you and connect you with the voice of your soul. So I mean to say this year could be seen as very promising in this regard, that Ketu is actually going to make you very critical towards your life goals, towards how much effort you need to put in order to fulfill your wishes, your desires. At the same time, even your friend circle, it is actually going to filter it out, connecting you and making only all those people come in your contact which are actually going to help you fulfill your goals. You can look at it from that perspective. So this is something, guys, which I wanted to tell you as a general overview, like how planets are contributing in your life as per your ascendant. I will again say the same thing. Some lifetime, life-changing, big substantial achievement, authority, power can actually be achieved because of the way the planets are transiting in your chart in the important houses. Now we will try to take up each category one by one, and we will try to understand what exactly is happening in that particular area of your life. So beginning with the concerns of your career. So as you people know that whenever we have to scrutinize the concerns of career, we always give attention first to the 10th house, because it tells about your professional arena, professional environment, all consolidated information of your career. We also give attention to your 6th house, which tells about your work ethics, which tells about your daily work life, and we also give attention to the 3rd house, which tells about your efforts, courage, valor, your potential to bring a change in your life by your own self-initiated efforts. So I mean to say what is happening over here is that, as you know, that Saturn is actually transiting in your 1st house throughout this year. The transit of Saturn can be seen as very significant event in the lines that it actually brings karma in your life, like it is going to be seen as a payback time of your karmas. It makes you responsible, it makes you dutiful, it makes you humble. So I mean to say, from the ascendant, Saturn is actually going to look at your important houses, which act as a very important contributing factor towards the success of your career. With its third aspect, it is going to look at your third house. So it's actually going to restrain any form of recklessness, headstrongness, going to make your moves, your endeavors, your efforts towards your career success in a very calculative way. And with its 10th aspect, Saturn is going to look at the house of your career, the 10th house. Now you have to understand that even if you will try to understand separately the three aspects of Saturn, so Saturn's third aspect encourages you to put more efforts, Saturn's 7th aspect restrains you, and Saturn's 10th aspect is the judgment giving aspect. So I mean to say, whatsoever decisions you are going to take, the way you are going to project your personality, how much discipline you are going to possess and you are going to abide by, it is actually going to take into consideration what kind of success you are going to get at your career front. So I mean to say, I'm not seeing you vulnerable in the concerns and the matters of your career. And as you can obviously see, Rahu is already empowered in your 5th house, which is actually going to give you little bit of the out of the box way of thinking, how to project yourself in the matters of finances as well. So because of which, from the career perspective, this year seems to be very promising for you. Some substantial achievement, authority, power can be attained this year if your dashas are also going to be supporting to that. Now let's try to understand what kind of energies we received from tarot. Once again guys, I have already cleared this thing. Whatever I'm going to tell you from tarot, it's not a precise yes or no or a exact forecast of what is going to happen in your career front. Take it as the divine instructions, what kind of theme, what kind of attitude you need to follow this year for that particular area of your life. So I mean to say, the first card which I received for the concerns of your career came out to be the Queen of Pentacles. So guys, the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of whichsoever suit it is, it just tells about the nourishment, about the feeling, care we associate with the Queen. And now just because Pentacles is a suite which represents earth element, which chiefly tells about the concerns of your finances, now this card has come out to be reversed. So this card just tells about any form of your 5th house Rahu is actually going to encourage you, push you to take risk even in the matters of the finances. So what we can see and decode from the energies of this card is that you do not have to resort comfort in any form of indulgent behavior. You can look at it from that perspective. And even in all the matters of finances, try to authenticate the credibility of the people you will be dealing with. So this is something which we can see from over here, decode the energies of this card. The second card guys which came out to be the 5 of Wands. Now 5 of Wands is again not a very positive card. So I mean to say, in the matters of your career, what I am seeing from over here is that it's like there could be a little bit of the competition or fierce competition which you might have to face. See, you have to understand that whenever we talk about a planet like Saturn, Saturn has the capacity to give you greatness, to take you to the peak of your chosen field. But like the way Saturn, Mars, their malefic planets' nature is, it's like you have to undergo struggle, you have to possess strong endurance power, you have to fight and make your way to the top. So I mean to say, this year could be filled with a lot of competition towards whichsoever area you will focus yourself in the matters of your career. So you have to remain very cautious and watchful of that. Try not to get overwhelmed because of any threatful competitive situation, because like the way there was a quote of some cola brand, I forgot, that dar ke aage jeet hai. So I mean to say, success is standing right next to the fear. So I mean to say, you need to break through the shackles of fear to receive the crown of success. This is something which I want to tell you from this card. Now moving to the final major arcana card. So that card came out to be the sun card which is reversed. So guys, one thing which you need to understand is that I already told you and I've been emphasizing on remaining humble this year. So I mean to say, this year with this strengthened Saturn in your first house and Jupiter being weak, debilitated, it's only indicating towards try to remain humble this year. All of your hard work is actually going to reap good result for you, but this is not the right time for you to run for the glory, run for the immediate sunshine, immediate fame. You should be eyeing and working hard towards greatness, towards strong resistance, coming out to be strong and trustable, gaining trust and confidence of people who matter at your career front and work front. I try not to be over the top bossy on people, try to remain humble and a people's person. This year, this is the kind of energy and theme which divine is guiding you for the matters of your career. Let's move to the next category for the concerns of your finances. Now, as you people know, for any of the concerns of finances, we always give attention to the second house of our astrological chart, which tells about all kind of liquid cash, assets, finances, and we also give attention to the condition and quality of the 11th house, because 11th house tells about your secondary income, supplementary income, all kind of opportunities. So I mean to say, what is going to happen over here is that, see, I'm not seeing you vulnerable in any way, any regards on the matters of your finances. Good financial success can be achieved this year. The only thing is that, see, whenever we talk about the excess of Rahu and Ketu, that too if it's happening in your 5th house and 11th house. So 5th house is about personal consciousness, 11th house is about group consciousness. So I mean to say, you have to make a healthy balance between what is your own, and in order to achieve that, are you actually going to harm other people's intention? Are you going to harm the concerns and cause of society, environment? So you need to make a healthy balance in that regard, because this is what we are like getting to know from the excess of Rahu and Ketu. Apart from that, once Jupiter will enter your second house of finances, so time period from April to September and November onwards can be seen as very promising time. I will again say the same thing in the matters of your finances. I'm not seeing you vulnerable in any regards. Authority, power and good financial gain can be achieved this year, because you have to understand that your intellect is somehow being controlled and governed by a planet Rahu, which is exalted, and exalted that too in the nakshatra of Rohini, which is all about, you know, striving for making your life beautiful. All of your decision making is actually going to be governed by how to take out and extract financial advantage and attain and live a comfortable, a luxurious life. So because of which, from the financial perspective, I'm seeing good energy over here, and the time period which I have already explained to you, even Rahu's aspect on your first house, on your 11th house, on the important houses is actually going to benefit you. The card which I received from tarot, that's just one major arcana card, which turned out to be the world card, upright world card. It is a very, very positive, very strong energy. It is the final of the major arcana card. The journey of the fool gets completed over here. Fool, the very first card of the major arcana, which represents and which manifests, which embodies, which is a symbol of your soul. So I mean to say, soul gets completeness over here. So I mean to say, whatsoever your financial goals are, you know, stability in those concerns, and something big, substantial, big contracts, big stability, starting your own business, making your existing business a cash cow, you know, a very successful venture. So all these things in the matters and the concerns of finances can be achieved. I'm actually seeing this thing as a very positive energy. This card also indicates lots of travel. This card also tells about, you know, some global exposure. So all of that is actually creating a very good energy on specifically the matters of your finances this year. Now guys, moving to the next category for the concerns of your relationship. Like this year with your dealing and interaction within the outside world? Are you actually going to get benefited because of that? You are actually going to get the support of people, or what is actually going to happen at your relationship front? So that's very simple. For any concerns of your relationship, we give emphasis to the original air houses of our astrological chart. Third house, which tells about your interaction within the neighborhood, within your siblings. Seventh house, which tells about your interaction with your life partner, with world public at large. And 11th house, which tells about your interaction within the large group network. So I mean to say, guys, what's happening over here is that, like the way you can already fairly see this thing, that Saturn is actually being strengthened in your first house, and with its third aspect, it is also looking at your third house. So I mean to say, this year is good. I'm not seeing any vulnerability over here, but one thing which is very sure is that the Rahu and Ketu's axis is actually going to filter out your socialization, and it's actually going to make you run into all those people who are actually, and in a very refined way, good for the progress of yours. This is how you can see a very broader view and extract of the results of your socialization this year. Even for the matters of love, romantic relationship, specifically in this area, the transit of Rahu in your fifth house, exalted in the house of love, romance, is actually creating a very good energy that you can actually, if you are single, if you are looking for someone to for a new relationship to bloom or start, so this year can actually promise you that. So love, romance can actually happen this year. And apart from that, some very soul level connection even in the relationship, in the form of good friends, good supporting, encouraging people, you can actually run into all these kind of relationship as well. The cards which I received, so the first card came out to be the Knight of Pentacles. So this card just indicates this thing only, that while trusting people on the matters of finances, casual acquaintances, even the dear and dear friends, try to keep your finances separate in the matters of relationship. And the second thing is that try not to have a very reckless or a behavior filled with rush, specifically where your known people and your finances are concerned. The second thing is that the card which I received is the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups card again is, guys, it is also reversed, which just tells about just because we are looking at it from the matters of the friendship and the relationship. So Queen in any suit just tells about the manifestation and strength of the emotions and the feelings. So again, I'm not seeing much of the maternal care or nourishment on the account of your socialization. There has to be a little bit of the tinge of practicality while dealing with people. That's something which I want to tell you, advise you, the divine instructions which we received from the tarot. The next card, guys, which came, that turned out to be the Seven of Pentacles. Now Seven of Pentacles card is reversed. It is a good energy, I mean to say, even in the matters of relationship. So like, had this card been upright, this card just tells about contemplation. So the upright, this card just tells about that you are still in this mode of planning. But a reverse card just indicates that all of your financial goals, which have been for so long, have been lying in doldrums, which are not being able to head start. So this year, all of your financial goals could head start because of the guidance which you might receive from your known people. So you can look at it from that perspective as well. This is actually giving this indication that the good wise counsel and advices of people can actually help and work in your favor. Moving to the last major arcana card, guys, on this category, that came out to be the High Priestess card, which is again reversed. So the High Priestess card just tells about little bit of the energies of secrecy, little bit of the energies of the deception, hidden agendas. So I mean to say, the only thing which I want to advise you over here is that try to remain bit cautious while dealing with people. And if you are finding the people you are coming in contact with, their credibility is questionable, just try to bit steer away from their path. This is something which I want to advise you. Moving to the final category, guys, now we will try to understand what is happening at your academic front. Like for all those people who are students or who are preparing to get into any kind of competitive exams. So for any of the concerns of the academics, we generally give attention to the third house. We also give attention to the primary house of academics and education, which is the fifth house. So I mean to say, as you can fairly see over here, that Rahu is already strengthened in your fifth house. So I mean to say, this year can actually benefit to all those students who are a student of finances, or who are a student of any of the financial management, international trade, anything related with technology, artificial intelligence, coding, all these kind of computer languages. So I mean to say, these people can benefit along with all those like people who are like going to art school, going to film school, anyway connected with fashion and beauty. So these people can also benefit this year. Now the cards which I received for this particular category, the first card came out to be of the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands just tells about being independent. Try not to be dependent on other people in the matters of your education. Now whether in the form of depending on the fellow students, on teachers, tutors, any of your faculty. So you have to try to become self-reliant, independent this year for the concerns of your academics and studies. So this is something which this card tells us about. And the final major arcana card in this category came out to be the Chariot card, which came out to be reversed. So I mean to say, this year you have to actually work hard towards the fulfillment of any of your concrete goals. So I mean to say, in order to get that stability, that strengthened place in your academics, you have to work hard. This is something which this card is telling us about. So this is something, guys, which I wanted to tell you as a general and broader theme of what is 2021 going to bring in your life. Once again, thanks a lot for watching this video. I pray to Lord Shiva that Lord Shiva's grace shall shine upon you. All of your wishes shall come true this year. And for further more updates and notification on the science of astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Thank you.